Fellow wedding officiants, when we are officiating a wedding, we are leading up to this crescendo moment of the ceremony where we say to everyone, "It is my pleasure and honor to present to you for the very first time Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so," or something like that. But before we get to that point, we have to tell the guests some very boring logistical stuff coming out of the ceremony so there's not a massive human chaos. How and when do we do that? My name is Mark Allen Grollo. I am a professional, full-time, book-solid wedding officiant in Toronto, and today I want to talk to you about how to do the closing remarks, 3 important announcements to make at the end of the ceremony. So what we don't want to do is let all the air out of the room and basically kind of say, "Okay, everyone, just as we're closing, here is the itinerary for the evening and the step-by-step, absolutely overly detailed, nauseating, one-by-one things that are going to be happening over the next hour and a half." We don't want to do that, right? Here is what we do want to do. We want to keep these comments very brief, but very succinct and very relevant to what's going on so that everybody leaving the room knows exactly where they're going, what they need to do, and have a general sense of what's happening over the next half hour or hour or so. So where do we put these closing remarks? When do we make these important logistical announcements? Let's not put them after we present to the couple for the very first time. Let's not put that afterwards, because after that people just want to get out of here. There'll be an awesome song playing, hopefully, and you don't want to kill the mood then. So where I recommend putting it is after the signing of the registry, if there is a signing. If you're not having a signing of the registry, have it after the kiss. So the couple kiss for the first time, and oftentimes then we'll go sign, then we'll come back. And that is the time, whether it's a kiss, whether it's a signing, right after that usually is when you present the couple for the very first time to everyone as married. That is the best time, I find, to make these announcements about what's happening next for the guests. And so here are the 3 very important announcements that guests need to know leaving the ceremony. Number 1, the first announcement to make when the couple are standing there ready to rock it down the aisle, and this thing is just moments from being done, we want to tell the guests what the newlyweds are doing next. When I have my wedding workshop, I call it, with the couple, our ceremony planning session, 4 to 6 weeks before the wedding, I ask the couple, are you going to be heading out after the ceremony, or are you going to be staying after the ceremony? I often recommend that the couple head out, take a break, have a breather, but some couples say no, we want to go immediately into a receiving line, we want to head immediately to the bar and join the party, that kind of thing. So really it's 2 options here. A, the couple are leaving, and B, the couple are staying. Couple of pro tips around these 2 choices. First of all, if the couple are leaving, I generally say, you know, Jim and Ashley are heading out briefly for photos and they'll rejoin us shortly. That's it. That's the entire line that I use for the couple stepping out. We don't want to say they're heading out for a breather because they're freaking exhausted from this day and they just need a break from you people for a few minutes. So even if that's true, we don't say that. Typically I'll just say they're heading out briefly for some photos and they'll rejoin us shortly. That's really all you need to say. That takes care of number 1. If the couple are staying, then that's precisely what we do, is tell them where they're going to be. They're doing a receiving line, they're heading to the bar. But essentially, the reason why this is announcement number 1 is because immediately after the ceremony, the couple is the star of the show. So the guests are all going to be asking, it's going to be a conversation piece, where are they, where are they, where are they now? We just want to have answered that question so that guests can really focus on having a good time for the next little while and not wondering where the centerpiece people of the day are. So again, this is very brief, and that is the brief number 1, where the newlyweds are, where they're going, what they're doing next. Number 2 is tell the guests what they are doing next. What are the guests doing next? What's in store for them? And this is typically a very logistical announcement because whether it's 50, 200, 300 people, that's a lot of people who need to go somewhere in the same direction, even if it's just to clear out the room so it can be flipped over by the venue people or whatever it is. We want those people to know exactly where they're going and what they need to do next. So again, in that wedding planning session, we want to ask the couple what is in store next for your guests. A couple of pro tips here around this piece. First of all, we do not want to overpromise and underdeliver. So we don't want to say a whole bunch of different exotic cocktails and hors d'oeuvres are about to be served, and really the only thing that the couple have planned for this next part is an open beer bar or something. So we want to ask the couple very specifically, what is being served? Do I call it cocktail hour? Do I call it just head to the bar for a little while? Are there cocktails, or just do you want me to just say drinks? Are there hors d'oeuvres or amuse-bouches or something like that? So again, we're keeping it pretty general here. We do not want to give an exhaustive list of absolutely everything that's on the menu. That's not what this time is for. On the other hand, we don't want to inflate everyone's expectations only to be let down. So we ask the couple what is in store, what is being served, and then we'll let the guests know. The second pro tip I would give around this is we don't want to be ordering the guests about right now. So we don't want to say, now you need to head over, you need to do this, or go do that. The key word we want to use here is invite. So now you are invited to the bar. Now you are invited to head out through the main doors, upstairs to the mezzanine, where there will be a cocktail hour. And I like to keep it playful. We are not, again, ordering people about. And finally, the third pro tip I would give around this number 2, what the guests need to know next, is how long is the next part actually going to be? Sometimes cocktail hour is an actual hour. Sometimes it's 3 or 4 hours between the ceremony and the reception or the dinner. So we want to give guests a sense of whether they can hang around, whether they can wander the gardens or the venue where the ceremony was, if they have time to go to the mall, go home and change, whatever it is, grab something at DQ. How long do they have before the reception? So I always ask the couple in our wedding planning or ceremony workshop, do you want me to be specific about the time of the reception? Sometimes the couple will say, yes, please just say 6 o'clock so everybody knows. Other times they don't want to be nailed down to a time because who knows what's going to happen with photos and the caterers and all that. So in that case, we just keep it very general and say, you're invited now to cocktails on the terrace, and the reception will follow shortly after that. Okay, so that is up to the couple. That is at their discretion. Ask them whether or not we want to say a time, or just keep it general and say it'll follow shortly after that. So we have told everyone what the married couple are doing. We have told the guests now where they are invited to go. Number 3 is, on behalf of the couple, thank everyone for coming. So the couple are standing right there. We are about to present them to everyone for the first time. Everyone is corked up and ready to cheer. And we just want to say, on behalf of the couple, say their names. Thank you so much for coming. Have a wonderful evening tonight. I like to say something like, make sure you party as hard as these two are in love. You can use that. That's yours now. And people typically cheer. That guy say, are you going to do that? And get people kind of raring to go. We're about to head into a party here. And then that's when we move into the presentation of the couple for the first time. Please stand with me now. It is my distinct honor to present to you for the first time. That kind of thing. Okay, so there you have it. Here, I'm going to demonstrate to you how the closing remarks often go for me. Those 3 announcements I make at the end of the ceremony. All right, everyone, just a couple of things for you to know as we wrap up here. First of all, the bride and groom are heading out briefly for photos, and they will rejoin us shortly. In the meantime, cocktail hour has begun. You are invited to head back out through the doors, and you will see a bar there on your left. Cocktails and hors d'oeuvres will be served, and the reception will follow shortly after that. Thanks, everyone, for coming. On behalf of the bride and groom, have a wonderful evening. Please party as hard as these two are in love. Can you do that? Can we do that tonight? All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand with me now. It is my distinct honor to present to you for the very first time. There you have it. It always gets everybody ramped up. We're moving to that crescendo moment, and everybody knows where they need to go, what's happening next, and about how long it'll take. So they can concentrate on just that, having a great time. If this video was helpful to you, I invite you, I'm not telling you, I invite you to like this video, share it if you can, subscribe to this channel because every week I'm putting up a new pointer and pro tip on how to officiate a wedding. And I'd love to hear in the comments, what do you typically announce at the end of the ceremony? Is there a 4th, a 5th? Do you only do 2? What do you think? How do you do it? See you next week, where I'll drop another video right on this channel on how to officiate a wedding.